boots on the rail, same stew, same stale smoke, counting halos in the neon of every hurt I never spoke. Whiskey stains my fingers like the years stained up my name. I stir the ice, watch it circle round and round the same old blame. She slides in on the next bar stool, silk dress from another time, red lips on a paper straw, laugh lines not yet defined. Says, you look like you've seen some things, with a half smile, soft and slow. I shrug, say just a little weather, but my chest starts to glow. You're too young to know this kind of quiet, the kind that sets up camp behind your eyes. Too bright to be sitting in my twilight, too kind to be tangled in my lives. But you woke up something I buried out back by a fence post under old romance, and it hurts in a way that feels like mercy for a man who's long outlived his chance. Her perfume cuts through the jukebox, cheap cologne and yesterday's rain. She asked if I come here often, I just laugh at my own refrain. I see faces in her questions, girls I left, rings I sold. She reaches out, touches my knuckles, says your hands, they look so old. I picture her in 20 years, different bars, same cloudy glass. Will she sit where I'm now sitting, haunted by a younger past? I wanna warn her, wanna hold her, wanna stand and let this pass. Oh, but my boots feel made of stories, too heavy to outlast. You're too young to know this kind of quiet, where every joke is just a shield. Too soft for the weight I carry, too clean for this busted up field. But you woke up something I buried out back in a coffee can marked second chance. Now it shakes like change in a poor man's pocket, to the rhythm of an almost dance. So I pay my tab, tip the tender, say go find yourself some light. I nod to her, tip my hat brim, try to walk out of the night. But that low-cut ghost in vintage velvet will be with me every time I drink. An impossible kind of comfort, too close for a man who's had too long to think.
Sitting there in that old print dress, faded blue on a barroom chair, deep line of her collar like a quiet dare, but she ain't trying to turn no heads. Her hair pulled back in a simple knot, Old world grace in a neon glow. She stirs her drink, taking it slow, like she's got all the time I don't. It's too late to fall, but I'm falling. In this worn out skin I wear like a stain. I swore off hearts, swore off talking, said I'd ride alone, just me and my blame. Now one look from her cut straight through it all. Lord, it's too late to fall, but I'm falling anyway. These hands got maps of the miles I burned. Every scar's got a woman's name. I told myself I was done with that game. Just whiskey, cards, and quiet returns. And her eyes catch mine like a second chance. Turn away, then they circle back. There's a whole conversation in the space we lack, and a lifetime leaning in that glance. It's too late to fall, but I'm falling like a fool who should know his place. She don't even smile, just holds my gaze, and it hits me harder than any embrace. Yeah, I built these walls 10 stories tall, swore it's too late to fall, but I'm falling anyway. What do you say when your voice gave out years before tonight? When every almost love turned into a taillight in the night. So I tip my hat to the empty air, sip my drink, and I just sit there praying she can't see the storm in me across that room. It's too late to fall, but I'm falling with a quiet I can't explain. Every heartbeat slow, every memory loud, every lost I love you calling my name. If I stand, if I walk, if I say nothing at all, it's still too late to fall, but I'm falling anyway. She looks down once, then looks back up, like she almost spoke my name. I tip my glass, she lifts hers too, and that's where it all remains. Some love shows up when the light's near gone, when your boots feel too old to stay, too late to fall, but I'm falling. As she finally looks away.
Found a Bible in the backseat, pages torn, stained with beer. Thought of Mama on her apron, saying, "Boy, you ain't from here." Rust on my old Chevy, ticket from the county fair. Her perfume on my flannel, and a long black strand of hair. This two-lane gospel is all I know. White lights, cheap wine, and a restless soul. I ain't a saint, but I ain't all wrong. I keep driving, keep trying to make peace with where I've gone. On my granddad's rifle for a room and something strong. I wrote her name on a paper napkin, then I crossed it out at dawn. Sheriff said, I knew your daddy. You walk just like he did. I said, yeah, I got his footsteps, but I'm praying for my kids. This two-lane gospel is all I know. White lines, cheap wine, and a restless soul. I ain't a saint, but I ain't all wrong. I keep driving, keep trying to make peace with where I've gone. Some folks find their heaven in a steeple dressed in white. Mine's a flicker on the dashboard on a tired Tuesday night. If I ever make it homeward and she's standing on that porch, I'll lay my stories at her feet like matches by a torch. This two-lane gospel is all I know. White lines, cheap wine, and a restless soul. I ain't a saint, but I ain't all wrong. I keep driving, keep trying to make peace with where I've gone. Smoke-stained ceiling, one flickering sign. Same four old-timers telling the same worn lines. Pool balls colliding like years that just missed. Boots on the bar rail, cheap whiskey on my lips. Door swings open, conversation drops. Heels tap the sawdust like they're lost in this truck stop. black dress in a brown world, pearls against her wrist. Every head turns, but I swear she don't notice it. What's she doing in a place like this? Porcelain in a cupboard full of rusted tin, too sharp for the shadows, too soft for the fists. What's she doing in a place like this? Beauty in a graveyard, looking out of place, and yet I can't look away, and I ain't ever gonna forget. She orders red wine, they offer her beer. She smiles that small smile, says I'm just passing through here. Maps folded in her handbag, city on her skin. A lifetime of heartache trapped in my denim grin. I study her fingers wrapped round that glass. No rain, just a restlessness I recognize fast. Wanna say you lost, wanna say I was too, but the jukebox starts crying and my courage stays glued. What's she doing in a place like this? Polished in a room full of chipped regrets, too bright for the neon, too clean for the grit. What's she doing in a place like this? Questioning a chapter that fate never lets me read. I just steal a glance like a thief who'll never plead. She checks her watch, pays in quiet cash. Yeah, leaves half a glass of Bordeaux in the puddle of ash. Door size closed, air rushes in, and all of us old ghosts go back to pretending. What was she doing in a place like this? A Sunday dress drifting through a Friday mess, left a little silence where the cursing used to sit. What was she doing in a place like this? Now it's just a story I tell when the nights get thin. How I watched an angel and never let her in. Stool by the jukebox, same smoke, same sign. Somewhere she's a stranger on some other line. I left my glass to the one that I missed, and that unanswered question in a place like this. Neon flicker on a dusty frame, same cracked mirror, same old name. He stares down into the amber glass, sees her face float up from the past. Door swings open, cool night air, soft perfume cuts through the stale in there. Red dress shimmer, long dark hair. Every lonesome fool just stops to stare. Is that you, honey? walking through the years, or just a stranger wiping off my tears for a heartbeat. I can't tell the time apart. You're a brand new face on an old broke heart. If I close my eyes, you fit just right in the empty space by my side tonight. Temptation feels like mercy in the dark, on a bar stool built of whiskey, ghosts, and sparks. She sits one stool and a breath away, says you look like you've seen better days. He laughs once low, like a worn out gate, says I'm just early for Judgment Day. Her glass catches every colored light, like the ring he pawned one bitter night. Her smile trembles in the smoky room, half wildflower, half wrecking bloom. Is that you, honey, walking through the years, or just a stranger wiping off my tears for a heartbeat? I can't tell the time apart. You're a brand new face on an old broke heart. If I close my eyes, you fit just right in the empty space by my side tonight. Temptation feels like mercy in the dark, on a bar stool built of whiskey, ghosts, and sparks. He could call her darling just to hear it land, let her soft hand cover that old tan line on his hand. But every sweet mistake still tastes the same, sugar on the rim of a losing game. Is that you, honey, walking through the years, or just a stranger wiping off my tears for a heartbeat? I can't tell the time apart. You're a brand new face on an old broke heart. If I close my eyes, you fit just right to forget her name for one more night. Fleeting comfort in this faded cowboy's heart, just two shadows made of whiskey, ghosts, and sparks.